You guys are really bad. Cut through the BS. As voters, what we need to do is cut through all the BS, and you have to look at who do you think is best fit to run the country for the next 4 years. That is our job as voters. All of this stuff is a bunch of nasty BS, all of it. Who's best fit to run the country? You as a voter, that's what you need to decide. Not, oh my God, he said this, and oh my God, she said that. There's going to be a lot of that over the next several months. You guys are really bad. Cut through the BS.
Yes, to be honest, this clip is amazing. I don't always watch CNN that much, but this video caused me to do that. Danny White did something which I applaud him for calling these people out. A question surfaced about Trump shooting, and he went further to talk about what is currently going on, the media doing this, doing that. At the end of these videos, I'm going to show you exactly what happened and the hypocrisy with the mainstream media. When they call you up, they want to table you questions, so you should fall into that trap. But this man did not fall into that trap. He knew exactly what they wanted to hear from him. And he said it clear, oh, no, you people are the problem.
Joining me now, a staunch supporter and friend of former President Donald Trump, the president of the UFC, Dana White. Dana, good to see you again. How you doing?
I'm awesome. Thanks for having me.
Last time many people saw you, you were at the RNC on the stage, and it was you, not the First Lady, not his kids, that introduced the former President of the United States. And it came at a time when he had just had an attempt on his life. I wonder what that experience was like for you, and what has been the reaction to you being in that very political space?
Yeah, no, it was obviously I was very honored, and the family was very supportive of me being the person to introduce him. So yeah, it was an honor. And the response to me has been incredible. You know, people I haven't talked to in 10, 15 years, everybody's reaching out to me and you know, obviously responding on the speech.
You've known him for decades, and many people who are pundits and talking about it, they were looking at that assassination attempt and they were expecting it to change who he was as a person. When you spoke to him, did you see any change or reaction about what that experience was like for him to have an attempt on his life?
No, and you're so right. I mean, I've known people that have had those type of experiences before, and it definitely changed them. This is the most resilient human being I've ever seen. And you know, I was flying to Italy when it happened, and I was so freaked out, but I was freaked out by it. How he couldn't be, you know, how he couldn't be, like you said, changed by this attempt on his life. He's one of the strongest, most resilient human beings that I've ever met in my life. And you know, everybody thinks they're a tough guy until it's time to do tough guy things. The way that he
Yes, I don't understand why the mainstream media keep insisting on this question. I've seen this where even this Kamala Harris campaign is putting out video. Oh, look at somebody who said I've changed. Oh, he's saying this, he's saying this. They want Kamala Harris now to be going off Trump and Trump should be silent. I don't get the point here. This is campaign. Trump should be able to speak up his mind. I don't get the point with Democrat trying to say Trump has not changed. If he changed, it should be maybe in his mind, like, oh, this thing has actually changed certain aspect in me. But when it concerns campaign, I should be able to continue.
the way that he reacted to that attempt on his life was, you know, my respect level has gone even higher for him, the way he handled that. And as far as the American people, everybody should be outraged that this happened to him. If it happened to Clinton, if it happened to Obama, if it happened to Bush, if it happened to, you know, Biden, every American should be enraged by an attempt on a former or sitting president's life. And the way that he handled it, I have so much respect for him.
Well, Secret Service's director has resigned as a result of the outrage that is collected bipartisanly. But there were many who thought that it would change his approach to politics and improve the approach he would take. But this campaign has already gotten pretty nasty. I think people expected it to get nasty now that there is a new head of that Democratic ticket. It's the Vice President, Kamala Harris. You know, you have joked before that politics is way nastier than sports or the UFC. But what we're seeing, I mean, there's a labeling of the vice president as a DEI hire. You yourself have prided yourself on giving both men and women opportunities at your organization. What do you think of this message that attacks the race and gender of an opponent?
Yeah, I don't judge people by their politics and you know, who they vote for or any of that stuff. And listen, I don't know Kamala. She seems like she's a nice person. You know, I have nothing against her whatsoever. And like I said, I'm not political, but do I think that she is fit for the job? I do not, personally.
But it's not necessarily about the policy. It's the approach to attacking one. I mean, I know that you are very well versed in what it's.
It's very clear she did not like this response. She never expected, like, Daniel would turn and say, oh, she cannot be that person. Daniel responded to these questions in a brilliant way I enjoy.
There was that quote from J.D. Vance, who is his running mate, talking about childless cat ladies. I mean, these are not things that are in line with enveloping perhaps women into the fold, which is something you have always stood for, you say, in your sport. Why shouldn't that be the same in politics?
Yeah, well, listen, politics are the most disgusting, nasty. It's atrocious what is said in politics, and the things that are being said on one side are being said on the other side too, about Trump and about you know, his choice for vice president. It goes both ways. This isn't like, oh my God, look what's being said about Kamala. It goes both ways. They're both saying it. And like you said, it's already heated up and gotten nasty. And like you said earlier, it's only going to get nastier. That's politics. It is what it is. And it definitely goes both ways.
I don't know that it's going both ways to have the childless cat lady comment or a DEI hire. Who's calling is you think that Vice President Kamala Harris is calling J.D. Vance a DEI hire, Dana? Come on.
That is it. They are now going into digging old videos of J.D. Vance. Oh, he said this in 1995. He said this in crazy. His positions that time might be different from today. How he said things. If you realize, why are they not digging videos where he was going off on Trump, like, oh, I don't like Trump, I don't like Trump. I want these same people to dig up those videos, you know, to play. Then ask yourself, why are you loving Trump now? That is to tell you his brain is changing, his policy views are changing. So these people trying to say, oh, cat ladies, things like that, I think I clarified that on my other video. These were cut a video out of context just to pass their message, which at the end of the day, the story is gradually fading away.
Will be the first, if she is nominated, the first. And finally, new rule.